and students as we go right here. Welcome to the final week, ladies and gentlemen, of my anatomy and physiology course here at Arizona Western College with your professor, Dr. Sean Clavel. And here we are, December the 7th, today's the 6th, but we're going into the 7th here where we're going to look at our final and practical. Again, this is going to cover chapters 12, 13, and 14. Chapter 15 here has been uh, assessed in a different capacity. You've got a reading quiz, which I encourage you to take at your earliest convenience for chapter 15. And so, as you can imagine, we are preparing for what we'll call the final exam, the final assessment of the semester. It is exam number 6. It will begin on December the 7th. The practical component will be due on December the 10th. It will cover chapters It'll cover chapters 12, 13, and 14, 75 multiple choice questions, 1 point each, 90 minutes for the multiple choice portion of it, lecture component of it, if you will. Uh, and then the practical uh, problem of it will be the practical part of it will be 50 questions. 50 questions, and let me kind of fix this as we go here. It'll be parts of the. So, parts of a neuron, types of neurons are going to be included into the practical here. You can see there that it's 50 points, 1.5 points each. It does include some marking for spelling as well. Types of a neuron, parts of the brain are going to be a big one, both the functional and structural components of that when I talk to the parts of the brain. So, functional, meaning like the primary motor cortex or the primary somatosensory cortex. Functional and structural, as well as the precentral gyrus or the postcentral gyrus, right? So parts of the brain, another part here that, let me go back here. Another part here is the parts of the spinal cord, right? So parts of a neuron, types of neurons, that's kind of the unipolar, bipolar, and multipolar. The parts of the brain, both functional and structural, the primary auditory cortex, the primary visual cortex, Broca's and Wernicke's area, primary motor cortex, primary somatosensory cortex, all of those areas, as well as the different lobes, right? And then the parts of the spinal cord as well. So those are going to be the main things that we'll be looking at here in our assessment. And so, as well, I'll encourage you guys that remember that the December the 10th, so that Sunday, is going to be the last opportunity for you guys to turn in any assignments that might be pending. So you can, again, as I've mentioned here, you can turn any assignments in. I'll give you the student view here of my Canvas page. Right, you can see that you can take any of these. They're all kind of available until the 10th. Right, available until the 10th. And so the idea here is that you may get a little bit of a knock for it being late, but it's still worth obtaining the credit for. So my Canvas is all the assignments are gonna close down here on Sunday the 10th, and so that'll be the last thing, and then I'll spend the rest of the couple of days grading, and I'll post my grades by the end of finals week. And with that in mind, I'd like to thank all of you in personally or online, virtually here, for a great semester. I hope that you've all learned something as it relates to the human body and movement. And I encourage you to continue this academic endeavor in the human anatomy and physiology in courses like Anatomy and Physiology 2, Pathophysiology, Exercise Physiology, Biomechanics. These are all really kind of cool and interesting things related to human anatomy, physiology, and movement science or exercise science. So, again, it's been a pleasure having each of you. I thank you all for your time, and I wish you the best. I look to hear from you guys in the future about your accomplishments, both academically and professionally.